the backup quarterback for the Packers a future Lyft driver. And I was thinking of this. I'm like, I'm probably a future Lyft driver.
Yeah, but if I said it about you, I'd say it in a kind way.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's probably a good chance.
You know what? I would use you.
Yeah, at some point.
Because, you would entertain me.
When I retire, go to Vegas, I'm going to be a Lyft driver on the side and deal craps, both.
You're a very ambitious man.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, sir.
First question. Make it a good one.
In honor of your upcoming trip to Des Moines.
Nice.
I'm wearing my
Iowa Chops hockey.
Yeah, I'm one of the threes of people outside of the state of Iowa that owns a piece of Chops gear.
That's awesome.
And if I recall, there was a Wild player that played for them.
Who?
Andrew Ebbett.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Ebbett. Played at University of Michigan, I believe.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think so. Played for the Canucks for a long time.
So,
little guy.
What are you most excited about for your upcoming trip to Iowa? Is it the drive? Is it the destination?
Definitely not the drive.
Is it the preseason hockey?
I think the preseason hockey. I just want to kind of watch the Zucker-Stahl-Granlund line, see if Granlund, should be on it. No, I'm just kidding. I just looked at Mary to say that. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know. I'm going to be there so in and out. It's hard to say. I'd like to see that arena full. That'll be cool. I know it's very close to sold out, if not sold out already. I want to see if the Klus-Rau-Annis line is playing in that game, and particularly the power play. I'd like to watch that in person because I've watched in scrimmages all week and they were awesome. But I don't know if they're going to play again. I haven't seen the schedule, the roster yet. I think a large part because the Blues play tonight, so I think they're deciding their roster.
So my follow-up to this is, since we all know the Wild made huge off-season changes, really shook things up, lots of new faces, big-time talent, huge contract signings, and with all the playoff success that they've had, they're definitely gonna break through this year.
Man,
this guy's stealing my game.
That was like a 2-minute sarcastic comment. I really respect it. Vicky's upset, but I love it.
Not really.
Yeah.
What should the tradition be started in the state of Minnesota, a la Detroit? What aquatic creature should Wild fans adopt to throw on the ice before
Man, these are
Cup
good
final
questions.
games?
Flounder, right?
Wow. That was a great one. This is why he's the columnist. That was a good line. I would have killed some brain cells to come up with a line like that. That's a good one, Flounder.
That's the best I could do in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you have an alternate?
No, I think it's good.
Okay. We voted, and that is that. So it shall be. Thanks for the questions. We appreciate it. Anybody who wants to come up and ask questions, including Mr. Hedges, John Hedges, who's here from Fixology Repair, or Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent in Champlain, come on up. Also,
they not only sponsor the podcast,
they come to the sponsor. And also, Tony's card is up here if anybody needs or wants insurance. Tony actually supplies insurance to both me and Michael. Come on up and grab his card, or grab one of the Talk North cards if you're interested in the network.
And and John will. Oh man, I just got lit up. John. I'm going to have to read these during your Philip encyclopedia question. John actually fixed my watch. Remember I said a couple of podcasts ago, I said, John, I'd give you anything if you fix my watch. Here it is 2 weeks later. Not only that, he delivers it to me at a Starbucks. He delivered this. I couldn't inconvenience him more. The guy works at the Mall of America. Actually drove to a Starbucks down here, walked from his downtown location to the Starbucks to give me this watch, and 2 weeks later, it's perfect still.
You know what he told me?
Yep.
He said he didn't know which Starbucks you're going to be at. He said he just went to a Starbucks. He knew you'd come through sooner or later.
He went to every one.
Yeah. No, you missed the joke, but that's okay.
All right, during Vicky's
I know you're not listening to the show, so it's
I'm
really
going to just make sure I didn't miss something. All right, go.
You need to pay attention.
Okay.
I'm looking at you. Okay. Phil, first of all, he's going to be Russo's sunglasses now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We have too many Russo's parody accounts.
That was the other disappointing thing. I don't think it's the exact same that I wanted. They look too much like the ones that I already have that I spent.
Michael,
I wouldn't throw them away.
We've lost all interest in this subject.
Yeah,
Michael.
I know.
You should hold on to them because as you get older, your eyes will change.
Uh-huh.
Just saying. Are you ready?
Yes.
When it's Stalock's spot to lose, how good must Hammond be to overcome the deficit and win the job? Obviously, the incumbent has the advantage, but is there a way to measure how much better Hammond must play over Staylock?
I think it's more if Staylock is terrible. That's what it would come down to. I think if they were equal, or even if Hammond was a little better, I still think it's going to be Staylock's job to lose. They might look at it as who's easier to get through waivers. We'll see. The problem is if they lose one of them in waivers, they're going to have to figure out a way to get a goalie back in some fashion because they don't have, other than Kokkonen, they really have nobody in the system.
He also wanted to point out that Granlund's in charge of the power play now.
Yeah. Nice.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, it's a great thing.
By the way, these are Vicky's interpretations of the great Philip Kallenberg.
Doesn't mean that
this is
you
what
can be in
Philip
charge
said.
of the power play and not be a superstar, as Philip called him.
Oh, please. But he did point out to me, as a matter of fact, he sent me a copy of an email he sent you in 2015.
Oh, great.
About how good Granlund was. So, Mary, you need to know
Did I
this
respond?
guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like the people that are keeping emails from years back. I already contradict myself on every other podcast. I don't need now written proof.
For sure. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.
That's it?
Philip and I thank you. I only got one.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Vicky, and thank you for bringing fresh vegetables. My wife loves the cucumbers. We do appreciate all of our listeners, but especially those who feed us. They're our favorites. Let's quickly thank WizKids.tech, WHIZKIDS.tech, downtown Minneapolis. If you need a chief technology ally, look them up.
Hello, Minnesota sports fans. This is Michael Thanner, founder and CEO of WizKids. WizKids is a Minneapolis-based managed IT, hosted VoIP, and cloud services provider. Businesses today require fast response times, skilled support staff, clear communication, and technology recommendations that align with their business goals. At WizKids, we do this each and every day with our clients. When you call into our help desk for support or work with one of our higher-level engineers on a complex issue, you'll find our staff personable and ready to roll up their sleeves to help you solve your technology problems. Reach out to WizKids today to find out how we can help your business meet your technology goals. Visit us online at WizKids.tech. That's WizKids.tech. WizKids, make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Do you have something written too? I like the people who show up now with written questions.
They prepare.
Well, you don't answer the ones online, so.
You walked into that.
By the way, thanks for the party, Michael. Very generous.
No
Good job
problem.
on that.
By the way, Chris, I have a beef to pick with you. Ooh. That tweet that you put today about yesterday about how the Wild spent too much money on their practice facility, and that's why they don't have third jerseys. That makes no sense. Third jerseys are usually a cash grab.
It was a joke, but.
So I do see the stuff
enough,
that
Michael,
are sent to me on the internet.
A couple months ago, I'd complimented you kind of backhandedly about being ahead of the curve on something, and you just completely flipped out like, what are you talking about? And I said, well.
That sounds like me. Yeah. I'm well aware.
3 questions.
Somebody came up to me recently and said, this guy that's buddies with Paul Fletcher, we went to Butcher and the Boar after the Basilica Block Party with, I forget the band. And we're sitting there, and he goes,
I hang out with so many rock stars, I can't keep them all straight, is what he's trying to say.
He goes, you blocked me on Twitter. And I'm like, oh, yeah, what'd you say? And he told me, and then he said that I wrote back, it's too early in the morning for this. That is, I'm like, yeah.
Yep, that sounds like
100% that was me. Yep, no doubt. But then I looked to unblock him, and he wasn't blocked. So I don't get it. So I don't know what he was thinking. So I do sometimes block people that out of guilt will go back like 5 hours later and secretly unblock them and see if they notice. So it's a big fun game. Don't you do that, Jim?
No.
Now I got to think of the band.
Go ahead, Chris. Don't let him get on a roll.
3 questions. The first one was, and I brought this up to Jim last time, how do political affiliations affect a beat writer in professional sports, especially hockey, given that the majority of team owners are politically conservative and obviously very
and
wealthy.
Players. Hockey is very. I've noticed that hockey is a very conservative.
So is
sport.
baseball.
And especially the Americans, actually. I find that the Europeans aren't, and some of the Canadians, but definitely the Americans. But in terms of political affiliations, I mean, I definitely try not to. The only time that I've ever on Twitter, and it's not political, is that when the stuff happened in Chicago with something that was an anti-Semitic thing, and I pointed it out, and then some guy came after me, and I almost lost my mind on Twitter. I could have easily have gotten fired that night and launched into this guy. I'm sure you could still find it. And he unfollowed me. Big deal, that bastard. So anyway, so like that's the only time. Like so, like, but in terms like that's the only time that I'll ever like if there's I feel like anything like racist, anti-Semitic, I will give my opinion on that. But in terms of political thing, I mean, especially now that I'm at the Athletic, I mean, you realize that people are also paying to read you, and you do not want to offend anybody that is doing that, either side. And today, in this tribal atmosphere where everybody is so on one side or the other, you just do not want to go there. And so I definitely try not to. You know, on my private Facebook, sometimes I will make little comments and things like that. I did that this morning, and for the first time in a long time. Anderson Cooper yesterday went on this rant on his show, whatever that's called, about I guess somebody put out a conspiracy theory thing showing him. Did you see this week that somebody on the Weather Channel was doing the thing where he was like pretending like to be blown over, and two guys strolled by him? So this person took a picture of Anderson Cooper, said that it happened in Hurricane Florence, and it showed him on the ground, and the cameraman above him, and this person was accusing, I think, Anderson Cooper of being on his knees in there, that he wasn't really in a flood. And then it was retweeted by Donald Trump Jr., and then it just exploded. And not only didn't it happen in Florence, but the cameraman that was in the picture is dead, and it happened in a hurricane like 7 or 8 years ago. And they showed 15 minutes of it where clearly there were water moccasins, he was walking in a flood, that the guy was shooting over. He constantly showed that that there were emergency vehicles going. So that type of stuff, I mean, but to me that's not political. That's just me pointing out that there are these conspiracy theorists out there, and that Anderson Cooper is just trying to stick up for himself and protect his integrity that was publicly shamed. So now I would never have done that on Twitter, because just even something like that, which to me is not political either way, is going to offend some people. So I try not to. I don't even, in fact, now with the new Twitter things about liking, when you like something, it shows on other people's feeds. I won't even like political tweets.
Before we get to Chris's next question, I do want to welcome Bite Squad as our newest sponsor of the Talk North Podcast Network. Bite Squad delivers food from hundreds of Twin Cities restaurants, including Delano's. Order online at bitesquad.com. Download their app. Get food to your door in minutes. And for a limited time, they're offering free delivery to our listeners on their first order by using the code TALKNORTH. Bite Squad, food for your mood delivered. Again, ordering Delano's through Bite Squad would be great for our network and great for Michael. Michael buys expensive glasses.
Well, and now that
he needs somebody to support him.
What's really cool is now that I'm moving out to the suburbs, and I can't just jump out of my building and land on 15 restaurants, this is going to be perfect for me.
Absolutely. And a reminder, Delano's is not only here, 4th Street, downtown Minneapolis. They also have a place in Woodbury and a huge delivery area. Go ahead, Chris. Thank you.
Second question was, how damaging are relationships between players and owners vis-a-vis coaching staffs, general managers, and fellow players?
How damaging, what, in terms of are you still talking politics? Or what? Ask the question again. How damaging is the relationship?
You get a relationship, if a player has a close relationship with an owner.
Okay.
How
Don't
is
know
that?
who you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're referencing here.
I think
how damaging is that?
Yeah.
Might be hard on the coach to not play him 28 minutes a night. That's what you mean.
Speaking theoretically.
Yeah, speaking theoretically.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, look, players and owners have relationships. Look at Washington with Ted Leonsis and some of his guys. Players, coaches do, things like that. I mean, what you just don't want sometimes is that other people start to think that player gets sort of favors if all of a sudden there's a relationship. But
that would never happen.
No. So.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right, last
There's
one.
more. These are